I shut down my husband's baby name idea. Now they think I hate his grandfather.
That name's stupid and so is your grandpa.
Hello, this has caused quite a stir on both sides of the family. My 35 female husband, 37 male, and I are pregnant with our first child.
All right, dude, congrats. That's kind of hard to do these days.
We are overjoyed as we have struggled with perceived infertility for the last decade. It was hard for them.
Aww.
We want the gender to be a surprise, but may have to find out to settle this. I'm currently at the tail end of my second trimester. Now, my husband absolutely idolized his grandpa, who unfortunately passed away last week. My husband is devastated, especially about the notion that his children will never meet their great-grandpa.
Oh, dude, did I write this story?
Who their father adored so much. As such, my husband has suggested that we name the baby after Grandpa.
Ooh, okay, real quick. What are some no grandpa names we will not do?
You want to know what my grandpa's name
What's
is?
your grandpa's name?
Gaylord.
His actual name?
His actual name is Gaylord.
Where does it come from?
I don't know, but they used to call him Gaily. Gaily.
Derived means joyful, high-spirited, or vigorous. Vigorous, dang.
Yep, that's him.
Gaylord. Gaylord.
Gaylord
Gary.
Box. Gaylord. Well, and actually, they call him Pete.
They just changed it all together.
If he gets, like, caller ID,
Yeah.
like, comes up as that. Also, if he gets, like, mail or something, it's Gaylord. Like,
Yeah, you said it's, yeah.
yeah.
Theodore if it's a boy, Theodora if it's a girl.
All right.
Either way, we'll either call them Teddy or Theo or Thea, respectively.
Theodosia.
Yeah, Theo Vaughn's hilarious.
It's not that I mind the name. The issue is that our last name is Bundy.
Oh, I was
Bundy.
gonna say Bound.
Wait.
Oh no.
He's the serial killer.
Yeah, but his name's Ted, not Theo.
Ted is short for...
What?
Did you not know?
No!
You know Ted was short for Theodore?
I thought he had glasses, too.
That's like Bill is short for William.
Anyway, I asked my husband, do you really see no issue in naming our kid Teddy Bundy?
Oh.
You don't think that would raise any questions? By the way, this comes from Can't Name Kid Ted Bundy. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Riley and I'm torn.
And we're here to give good advice goofly, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments.
This was an unexpected twist.
Don't name your kid Ted Bundy.
But it was her great-grandfather, husband's great-grandfather.
Was his name also Bundy?
Wait.
Yeah, but was he Bundy as well?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Who was his great-grandpa?
Hold up.
He says no, he's just honoring his grandpa. I told him he needs to think about how we will be perceived, how our child will be treated, and the implications that the name inherently carries. I literally had to spell out why that would be a horrible idea, and he still thinks I just hate his grandpa. I told him no. Grandpa was named in 1930 when the name Teddy Bundy wouldn't have been a problem. However, since certain events in the 70s and 80s, there's no feasible way we can give this name to our kid and not cause issues. He kept pushing and pushing until I blew up and told him to stop with the idiotic suggestion, and that's what it is. Idiotic at best, sociopathic at worst. He got extremely upset and told his family and my parents, who are divided. His family is obviously on his side and wants to honor Grandpa via naming the baby after him. My parents are torn, but on my side, as they understand the social pariah we would make our child by giving them such a similar name to the person who did such abhorrent and downright evil things to so many women. I mean, personally, I don't think anyone's just gonna assume that we're honoring a past loved one. They're just gonna think of Ted Bundy.
Yep.
Am I the a-hole? And there is an edit.
You are looking out for your child, just like OP in the other story was looking out for Karen.
No, it
became a whole problem and they had to change her name, literally.
This is so much worse. We read another story. A child was named Karen, and that was a big hubbub. You're naming your child Ted Bundy. That is a bad idea.
And in that story, they learned the hard way and named their kid from Karen to Caroline after 4 years of hard turmoil and finally figured it out.
Amy Dean said, make Teddy the middle name. That's what I thought. Can't you just do a middle name?
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
And then you can call him Theo.
Edit just to say that you guys are all proving my point that Ted Bundy is clearly still an infamous name.
Infamous.
Nope.
No, it's cool.
Nope.
There has not been one comment that didn't immediately make the correlation upon hearing my last name. That's exactly what I don't want to have happen to my child. Kids are wieners, and they're gonna find a way to be mean.
Facts.
Let's not just hand them the material. Edit 2, Bundy's full name was Theodore Bundy. That's where this problem is ultimately stemming from. When a teacher reads the name from the roll, be it Theodore or Theodora, they aren't gonna assume a nickname. It's just gotta be the full thing.
The people eater.
He didn't eat them.
He just unalived women.
And was really
Who's the fellow that ate him?
John Wayne Gacy?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
That's
I
who,
know my killers.
Jeffrey has the
Jeffrey
I thought of him
Dahmer has the
earlier.
glasses.
Why didn't
yeah.
I?
Jeffrey Dahmer has the glasses. John Wayne Gacy is John Wayne Gacy, and he killed like 33.
Did he eat anyone?
No, he never ate them. He just buried them underneath his house.
He's also a painter.
You look flustered, Savannah.
Flustered? No, it's just my hair.
Anyway,
Thanks for pointing it out.
unsurprisingly, OP was voted not the a-hole. And we have an update 4 days later.
Wow.
Yeah, you're just trying to save your kid.
And like nothing against the great grandpa. I don't understand why this is coming after the great grandpa. You know,
Great grandpa, he's not here. He's all good.
if great grandpa had the full context of this, what do you think he would say?
He'd be like, yeah, we probably shouldn't name the child that. That seems like a bad idea.
Right, Savannah?
You guys are all spelling Jeffrey Dahmer's name wrong. It's Dahmer.
Is it?
Yeah, not Dahmer. I study this stuff.
Essentially, my husband stayed with his brother and sister-in-law for a night, and they talked it out.
Nice.
His brother was also very close with their grandpa, so I think hearing the same logic from someone grieving just as much knocked some sense into him.
All right.
Finally.
A party of three. The rules of threes.
They watched the Dahmer, or no, not Dahmer,
Bundy.
Ted Bundy documentary, and they're like,
Oh, we did that? Oh.
they explain why he couldn't just name his kid Teddy Bundy, and especially because we live in the western U.S., in one of the states where he operated and was also caught, imprisoned, and escaped.
Yeah.
He escaped?
Yeah. Oh my God,
he-
twice.
They caught him, but
They
yeah.
caught him, but like the second time he was gone for like months.
I don't even think it's legal to use that name. We spoke briefly on the phone before he came home, where I apologized for how rude I was when he kept suggesting the name. I explained that I was just stressed that he was seemingly overlooking just how bad it would be to have a kid with the same name as a very notorious serial unaliver, and I didn't feel listened to. But you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. And we've got a little bit left, but what do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, don't name him Ted Bundy. Don't do that. Don't do that to your child. Don't do that to your family. It is never going to be a good name to associate with.
Yeah.
He may like that name and want to attribute it, but go with a middle name or do something. It doesn't need to be that.
So whenever you're testing out baby names, go to coffee shops, use that name.
And see what they do.
How is that pronounced? Test try it, you know?
Test it.
Whenever I order something, I always get the name Florence.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I always use my last name.
My mom always uses my name because they can't understand her accent.
Caramel?
Yeah.
Carmel.
She gets Carmen a lot. But there's a little bit left. He apologized as well, telling me that his grief was clouding his judgment and that he also understands why we can't give our child Grandpa's name. While we did want to keep the gender a surprise, we felt like we had to look at the ultrasound to help hash this out. We're having a baby boy and decided to give him Grandpa's middle name.
There you go.
We've also decided to go through with marriage counseling as well as grief counseling for my husband. He's asked me to attend, and I'm sure I could learn how to be more compassionate about his loss. I was never too close with my grandparents, so I'm trying to be here for him, but can't empathize as well as I could. All in all, this worked out. It did. It really did. I'm happy for you.
Yay. I'm glad he's not Ted Bundy. Thank God.
Oh my goodness.
Would have been horrible.
But like in a weird way, some women might like that.
No.
And see, that's the problem, Ming Ming. My mom's name is not Caramel. It's Carmel, Carmel.
You know?
With the accent, she's like, Camel.
Camel.
A lot of people cannot understand what she's saying.
My nephew just asked me to call me Mom.
No, you're my son.
My two nephews were punted out of their father's house last month, and I agreed to take them both in. They're 19 and 15, in their father's sister.
What?
What does that mean?
It's their father's sister.
I'm their father's sister.
Their mother hasn't been in the picture since the nephew in question, 15-year-old, was 2 months old. I am currently fostering the younger one and allowing the older one to stay with me since he's an adult and I can't exactly be his legal guardian. Last night, we both ended up having a very serious conversation. He's been having issues with his emotions lately, understandably so, considering what he's going through. I tried my dang not to cry when he told me about how he felt and about what's been going on in his head for the last couple of weeks. Now, my and my brother's parents are from Europe. So while my bio son is still young, I decided to celebrate Mother's Day on the 26th of May. That's my Aunt Karen's birthday.
It all comes back to Aunt Karen.
Since that's when my mom celebrates it. After our conversation, my nephew asked me if it would be okay if he called me mom, and told me he has a late Mother's Day gift for me, but wanted to check if I'd be fine with it. He said I can think about it and let him know, but that I'm the closest he's ever had to a mother, and he really wants me to have it.
Aww.
That's really sweet. It's really sweet.
Say yes.
Say it, say it, say it.
You have to.
Come on, let him.
By the way, this comes from Old Manger Alt, and if you want to submit your own story, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. As OP says. Now, this is where I don't know what to do.
I don't know.
OP doesn't either. I'm not his mom, and I don't know if I should pose as one. He's 15, and even if he's known me his whole life, it's only been a few weeks since he moved in to live with me. I don't know if allowing him to call me mom won't have a bad impact on him in the long run, but I really want to say yes because I love both of my nephews as if they were my own.
Then it's fine.
But do they get like squatter rights?
Yeah, if they call you mom, they get to stay there forever.
If you live in a house and you send mail to it, you have residencies there and you could maybe be a squatter. Is it something like that if you let someone call you mom?
Legally, that's your house now.
Every time someone asks for emergency contact, you're the net.
Mm-hmm. In case it matters, the 15-year-old is the one who got the worst of towards the end of staying in his father's house. He got injured as a result of the boys' fight with their dad and seems to be the one struggling the most with the whole situation. Oh.
Yeah.
Should I say yes to him calling me mom? I'd appreciate any advice or help with making this decision. There are some comments.
I think it's so sweet that OP does want to say yes and, has no problem with the kids calling her mom, but just wants to make sure it's like psychologically the right thing. She's like, I'm not a therapist. Is this okay? Will this damage him? I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna damage him.
No, I don't think so.
I think if you were forcing him to, then yes, that's a different story. But he is wanting to express this gratitude towards you in a way that he has never had.
And you love him like a son.
And you've been with him since, he was 2 months,
Yeah.
But just recently started living together, I don't know.
I think that's fine.
My cousin, her mom and dad were going through a pretty messy divorce, and they have to write, in 2nd grade, we do the All About Me, this little book it's literally a book, and you draw all these pictures, do all these things. You give it to your parents. You give one to your dad and one to your mom. It goes to both of them. The reason I'm saying this is because my cousin didn't know whether to give it to her mom or her dad because they were going through a divorce, and so she gave it to my mom.
Oh.
And my mom has it, and she said she just was in tears. And that's in 2nd grade. She's 7, 8 years old, and she's like, I don't know who to give it to. I'm going to give it to my aunt.
Yeah.
Also, my parents paid for her schooling because her parents refused to, both of them.
Oh, wow.
So
there's people that in your life that will step up as OP is doing, as a parental figure. And I think, whatever you want to call those people, it's up to you.
Comments. Thorns and Rose says, you're the closest person to a mom in his life. I'm sure he just wants to feel like a normal kid. OP responds, I will. Thank you. I will to what?
Probably I'll let him.
I'm just so happy he feels this way with me, and it got me into an overthinking state for a while. They both deserve a mom to lean on. To me, Thuggin' Harmony 4664 says, is there any way you could see if he would be open to therapy and a way to provide that? Blessings to you for all that you do. OP responds, he's in therapy.
Good.
So we've got that covered. Thank you so much. The therapy in general is one of the reasons why I've posted in the first place, as I've been told by his psychologist that I should be wary in trying to replace his mother in any way, since he's a young man now and not exactly a child. But since it was his idea in the first place, I think most of it is just me overthinking, trying to abide by all the rules and be the best safe adult I can possibly be. Is To My Cat says, how does your son feel about it? OP responds, he's 6, so he has no objections.
He's like, I have a brother now.
Oh yeah.
He's my brother now. Yay.
Yeah, I forgot that she had her own bio.
Yeah.
By the way, I'll have no objections to you listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app, and just search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left here. Any final thoughts?
Just that I think you went about this the literal best way possible. You made sure, checked with sources, checked with therapists that this was okay in terms of developmental. And also, you are seemingly a really great adult figure in this kid's life. So, good job.
I think you've obviously done a tremendous job with this kid, and he values that so much that he is willing to just
call you mom.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like any parent, whenever you say that to them, like that just is, it's very, I mean, I wouldn't know, I'm not a parent, but I could imagine it's very fulfilling and very emotional moment, especially seeing all that he's gone through.
Yeah.
And for him to confide in you, that's like, like someone is doing right by him.
Yeah.
Hope he continues. Thank you all for answering and reassuring me. The answer was always yes. I was just overthinking the situation. I told him yes a few hours ago and got the biggest hug and a thank you. We talked some more and I explained why I needed to think about it as per your suggestion. As a result, he called me mom a few times throughout the evening and gave me the gift he got me. It's a silver necklace, dog tag designed since I'm ex-military, with his and his brother's names engraved on it along with the date. I took them both in. I cried so hard, Redditors. I still can't sleep.
That's so
sweet. And he was so excited to give it to you. And he was like, but I want to call you mom first.
Yeah, he's like, I already have this ready.
I mean, that's so freaking cute.
That's really sweet. I love that.
So that worked out.
That was cute.
But that's the end of that story. And we got another one coming right up. Sure do. Sure do.
The boys are here.
The boys are here.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What? The thing just came up the stairs.
Savannah, let's go downstairs.
Aw.
Ava, come here.
I just need a blankie.
We were in like a hot...
Can you grab me blankie?
Where?
That's so cool. I funded my sister for years just to discover her boyfriend leeching off.
Ew, get off me.
My sister, 23 female, works as a cashier and earns barely above the minimum wage in our state. So I, 30 male, have been supporting her financially. I pay half her rent and her utilities and regularly send extra money for things like groceries or hair appointments or whatever she needs money for. I never really minded because I earn about 4 times what she does. And by the way, this comes from previous Ganesh.
Yum.
847. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
About 5 months ago, she started asking for more money much more often. She always had a reason, and I sent her money without question because I want her to feel I will always help her out. Then last week, I ran into her at a club with a guy, Jake, 27. She introduced as her boyfriend.
From State Farm?
Yes.
He wasn't wearing khakis, I know it.
He had boots with the fur.
Flo Rida? When I asked how long they had been together, she said a few months, which surprised me since I knew nothing about it. She got evasive and annoyed when I asked her more questions, and that made me uneasy. I just wanted to make sure my sister was with someone decent, you know? So I called one of her friends the next day and asked about Jake. The friend did not hold a high opinion of Jake. She told me he's been basically unemployed for 2 years because he can't keep a job.
Oh, that's not good.
That's such a green flag.
Jacob!
I don't think your sister's dating someone very good.
Jacob's just misunderstood.
Jake's like, I don't subscribe to jobs or whatever you guys in like normal society did.
Yeah.
I live off the grid.
Like,
I make my own path.
I just can't have a boss, you know?
He's just so hot. You should see how he talks to me.
He moved in with my sister 4 months ago after they had only been dating for a month.
Oh, fun.
Hobo-smexual. He is a hobo-smexual.
I'm really concerned for your sister.
He stays home while my sister goes to work and isn't really doing much to get a job.
That's his job.
That's his job. He loafs. He's a loafer.
He is defending the homestead.
You're welcome. Someone's got to look after it.
God forbid a man sits at home and keeps the doors locked.
Someone's got to do it.
I knew nothing about this. I have been paying rent for an apartment he lives in without contributing anything. I also realized that my sister's increased requests for money lined up with when he moved in with her, which means most of it has probably been going to him, not giving my sister any more money.
And I'm having a conversation with her and I'm saying, hey, you lied to me. I was already doing you a huge favor. Like, Opie was already giving her the money that she needed. And then her sister was like, I'm going to lie to my sister who's been so generous and take more of her kindness from her.
I confronted my sister. She said she didn't tell me about the relationship because it was still developing.
If it was still developing when you lived together.
Because it developed fast.
We're together in an apartment, and that's why this is the only way it could develop.
Sissy, I was going to tell you when we're going to get married, which is going to be next week.
It was going to develop into a marriage soon.
Duh.
What was that movie thing that used to, like, it was THX, I think, where we just go, it's like, and it's so fast, became the loudest thing ever. That's how their relationship developed.
Yes.
Pretty sure that scared me as a kid a little bit.
Yeah, it was a little freaky. That's why the THX intro is why you didn't talk as a child.
No.
You saw that when you were a baby, and you're like, I'm not speaking.
That
was
the
a scary
thing ever.
noise.
I have to be the quietest.
I told her I would stop covering half the rent going forward since she now has a roommate who should be paying the other half. I will still pay the utilities, but I am cutting back on any extra cash. She got upset and asked how she was supposed to manage on her income.
Ask your boyfriend.
Yeah, maybe he can get another job.
I point to anyone on the street. I say, look at all these people managing. Also, OP, you did this. You did this.
No, she didn't know.
OP did this.
Normally I get that, but sister has a job and clearly it's just, I don't know. I personally, I would, if my sibling needed help, I would help them, but I would also have more conversations specifically and say, hey, I'm giving you this money, but let's try and work together. Let's help you get off, on your feet.
Let's get you to a point where I don't need to do this instead of it just being like, I am indefinitely going to do this for you.
And then she says, oh, I need more. And you go, okay. I would try and help her a little bit more than just giving her money.
I pointed out that now she has a partner and surely he can subsidize those costs. She told me he does not have a job.
Well, he should get a job.
You know what that sounds like? My favorite thing. Yeah, you got it.
I responded that maybe it was time he got serious about finding a job.
Oh.
That's so scary.
How could you say something like that?
Take it back.
That's not who he is.
You're so mean.
He's jobless, Jake.
That's his identity. You're gonna take that away from him?
He's a superhero defending the couch.
I made it clear. Let me be clear. I don't trust this guy. Somebody being comfortable depending on her so early in a relationship felt like he was taking advantage.
It feels that way because it is that way.
She accused me of being judgmental, saying he is just going through a rough patch. 2 years is not a patch.
That's a whole acre. That's a whole orchard.
Yeah, that is, yeah. He needs her support until he can get back up. She also accused me of trying to control her life because I help her out financially and I have no right to meddle in her personal life.
Wow, that make make sense. That makes sense. Wow.
Honestly,
did she just blame you for helping her financially?
Yeah.
Immediately I go, I'm so sorry I've been meddling and controlling in your life. I'm not sending you a nickel.
Yeah.
Moving forward because I don't want to be the controller.
Oh, it's bad that I give you money? Okay.
You know what? Give it back. Just give it back. How about that?
I won't give you any more.
Was that meddling?
No more. And since that was so controlling of me, how about you pay me back for some of it so you don't feel like you owe me, right? I don't want you to feel like you're beholden to me.
No.
So let's figure out a number that makes sense for you to give back and then you don't have to, we can forget that I ever did this.
Perfect.
And watch her go,
And you go, courage, calm down.
We have not spoken in days, and now I feel conflicted. I genuinely believe he is using her and she's using my support to enable this. I am not trying to control her life, but I don't like her being taken advantage of. Am I the a-hole? And there's an edit, really quick.
Okay.
Apparently, people are shocked that I give her so much support. My sister and I got really close following the passing of our parents a few years ago, and I've taken care of her since. That does make a lot more sense. I have never minded until now, but perhaps it's time she learns to find her own footing.
Perhaps it is time. I think we gotta let her go her own way.
Just keep playing Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Clearly you didn't see this coming, but you should have, and you definitely should now.
The wrinkle with the parents having passed away.
Yeah.
It makes sense why you've been doing this. But yeah, clearly now, stop. A better way to implement it definitely needs to be on rails.
Yes.
But of course this started, I don't even know why I'm talking, because this started from a place of grief and shared, suffering and
Yeah, and you wanted to help your sister, and now she's taken advantage of that.
Right. Be able to be flexible as things change and situations change. I thought it was older brother.
What?
And it's 30 male. So
Yeah, it's older brother, 30 male.
Okay, older brother, younger sister.
Update. Following my post and your comments, I decided to follow through with my decision to stop paying half the rent for my sister as well as half of the utilities. It was a terrible feeling, honestly. I felt like I was failing the promise I made to her to always be there for her after our parents passed. I tried texting her a couple of times to check on her, but her answers were always very cold and passive-aggressive about just how happy she was with her hobo boyfriend. Thanks, Reddit. I resorted to getting updates from her friend, the one who had told me about Jake in the first place, until my sister found out and crashed out on her and called her a traitor. Apparently, Jake convinced her to cut her friend off for being toxic, and she did.
Boy, she is isolating herself now. That's not good.
She's gonna wake up from this relationship nightmare in 5 years and be like, oh God, what have I done?
Yeah.
Oh God, what have I done? She called me and told me to stop trying to meddle in her life since I refused to help her anymore. I decided to give her the space she wanted, and I didn't hear anything from her over the last 3 weeks or so. But a week ago, her friend called me and told me my sister was at her place and she needed me. She gave me a rundown of what had happened. My sister and Jake broke up after weeks of arguments over Jake's spending habits and the fact that he still didn't have a job. She found out he had lied about applying to a few jobs and confronted him about it.
Wow, real surprising.
Well, at least it didn't take 5 years.
Yeah, it took like 2 weeks.
I would like to say this is the point. She came back to her senses, but that is not what happened.
Dang it.
no, is she gonna blame you for this?
Yeah, she's like, this is your fault. If you hadn't meddled, Jake would never have left me.
She allowed Jake to sweet talk and guilt trip her until she returned from work to find him trying to sneak another woman out of the apartment.
No. The audacity to be living off of your girlfriend and her brother's money in an apartment that you don't own at all or have any claim to, and then to have, a girl to cheat on your girlfriend in that apartment that she is paying for?
This guy must be an extremely hot narcissist.
Oh, yeah.
When she confronted him, he got defensive, and she finally told him to get out. Jake refused because he apparently has occupant rights after having lived there so long, 7 months. Here's that, and the hobo reveals himself.
He's like, ha! I already knew what I was doing.
He pulls a reverse Uno card. He goes,
He's like, I've been planning this for 7 months.
And I hate to say this, but that exact thing, when your cheating boyfriend who has no job and has been taking all your money, cheats on you in your own apartment, and then says, you can't actually make me leave, I have squatter's rights, that's when you get your older brother and his friends to come over and handle it.
Yeah.
We live in a society. The rules dictate that would be wrong. It's not.
Throw him out.
Grab him by the belt loop and fling him out of that place.
Oofy.
Like a bouncer from an old movie.
And then he skids, in animation. Like he goes.
Yeah, he makes the. And then he gets up and he's got no pants covering his butt cheeks.
Yeah, but
because they got worn out.
I was gonna say he's wearing those little heart underwear.
Yeah, actually, much more of a classic reference. So she left and went to her friend's place, which was when she told her everything. I drove over there immediately. My sister could barely look at me because of the shame, which is okay.
She's so ashamed.
She kept apologizing for not realizing I was only trying to protect her, and I told her to stop. She brought up how Jake wouldn't leave, and I told her we could file a restraining order against him. She didn't want to do that at first. We managed to convince her that that was the fastest way to get him out of the apartment. We went and had the order filed the next day, and we were granted a temporary protective order. Thankfully, Jake didn't try to fight it after it was served to him, though I suppose he didn't have a choice. And by the way, you can choose to listen to full episodes with stories just like this on iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to podcasts. All you have to do is search OK Storytime, and there we are.
Can you just, instead of, when they say, oh, it's squatters' rights, can you just get a restraining order against them?
Well, I don't know. I've read so many times about how, it's, impossible to get a restraining order.
Yeah.
In a timely manner. Yeah, and again, it's I don't think you should, hurt the guy or, cripple him or anything. Don't go overboard.
Out by his belt buckle.
You just grab him. You get 4 guys. You grab each limb and you say, you're coming with us. And you get him out of the apartment and you go, we'll see you in court if you really want to fight squatters' rights to live here, you absolute bag.
Yeah. Whee!
Yes, you do that. And it's much faster than a restraining order. And when he tries to come back in,
You lock the door.
you ask him a nice little riddle. You say, Jacob, what did the 5 fingers say to the face?
5 fingers in the face.
Slap.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Slap.
There's times where it's like the old-fashioned way is the way to do it. This is that time.
It's just effective.
People are so afraid. I don't know. It's been a calm few days, and we have since had a conversation about what comes next. She's going to find a smaller place with a roommate, which will cost her less than her current apartment. I'm not going to subsidize her monthly rent anymore, but I'm not abandoning her either. I will help her out if it's something she's genuinely having difficulty handling herself, but she has to try to live within her means first. I don't think she was happy about it, but she accepted. I also mentioned that if she would like to go back to school and better her job prospects, I would help her out. She says she'll consider it. Writing this was very therapeutic for me. Hopefully my sister has matured a bit more from this experience, and that is the end of that story.
It seems like she's learned. It took her a couple tries, but I think you taking away the money was the right move because now she has to learn. And you're not saying, hey, I'm abandoning you. I'm not giving you any help ever. Like, clearly you still care for her and still support her in other ways.
Yeah, you just have to at some point. Like, you can't. I think that's probably around the same age that I started to not have any, not as consistent financial support from my family. And I swear to God, if they're, don't get me wrong, they supported the bejesus out of me. OP's sister was 23.
Okay.
And then they still help me whenever if I need help. They are always down to help me. But yeah, at some point you have to be able to feel what it's like to provide for yourself.
This is
it's
true.
a fundamental thing you need to experience.
Very true.
But that is the end.
Oh boy.
My kid's father passed with no will, allowing their grandparents to steal everything.
No, give it back.
Hello. My children's dad passed away recently, suddenly and unexpectedly. He did not have a will, which means the children are his sole beneficiaries. They are both under the age of 18. However, his family members have closed his bank and savings accounts and withdrawn all funds. They signed the indemnity form with Santander UK.
Santander, yes.
Santander UK, and apparently for balances under £50,000, this alongside a certificate of deceased status and ID is considered sufficient proof of entitlement. This means money that is legally my children's is now neither held in trust for them or available to be placed in trust for them.
Dang.
The person I spoke to at Santander today just sort of said that they acted within their policy and that is that. But this doesn't seem right. I would agree. It isn't just about money, but I want the correct process to be followed in the interests of the children. Secondly, a workplace pension for a job he left in 2022 has also been claimed by another person. By the way, this comes from user Sufficient Strike 97. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. And OP says, however, we were given no opportunity to identify the children as potential beneficiaries or to prove their financial dependency on their dad. Is this something I am also able to challenge? Should the trustees have considered the children when reaching a decision? This is purely in respect of a pension, not a passing in service benefit. Thank you for all the advice. Greatly appreciated.
What's in your throat?
There is an edit. He was unmarried and not in a civil partnership. They are his only children. And we have some comments. Let's see what they have to say, because I have nothing to say.
I don't know how to go about
I've
this.
got nothing to say yet because I don't know how to help you.
I will say, if there's no will, I don't know what you would legally do for this.
Yeah.
You said that it's like he wanted to leave that money for his kids, but if you can't prove that that's what he wanted, I have no idea how you go about this.
I also don't know how to help you.
I think you might have to heist this from your crappy in-laws.
That might be the only option, but it would be illegal.
Like, can you imagine, like, you have a child and they pass away and they have kids, and instead of just being like, oh, like, I want to make sure that my child's children are okay, you're like, actually, I want all of his assets
Yeah,
now.
like, how old is Grandpa?
Old enough to be a
Well, but that's so confusing to me. Like, if I'm Grandpa, I'm like, well, I'm almost out the door, so I don't need this money.
Comments from NoPast 9857. Your children should be entitled to inherit their father's estate, and this should be held in trust for them until they are 18. Have you tried reaching out to their father's family regarding the money? OP says, thank you. I have met with a lawyer this morning, but as I don't really have any money for legal fees, I am limited in what can be done to help. The family has not really been forthcoming with any information. I was only informed he doesn't have a will because the children were found to be beneficiaries for his passing in service policy, and one of the banks said a will was needed to set up a statutory trust for the funds to be deposited to. I asked about the will, and only then was told there isn't one.
Oh
And there's an update. And folks, let this be a lesson. If you've got family, if you've got kids, have a will.
Make it early.
It's really easy to have one when you're alive, and it's impossible to make one once you're not. So
Let's get on it.
Dakota, you get all my Legos.
Oh, wow.
really,
But you have to keep them. You cannot sell
you
them.
have to keep them in the box.
You cannot sell them.
I'd make a YouTube series. I'd be like, day 5 of completely disregarding my dead friend's wishes. He's dead now, and he can't stop me from building his Legos.
Who wants this?
No.
Oh, you're
We're
just
building them.
I thought they were already built.
No.
Keon just keeps them in a box?
He keeps them in the box.
If anything, all my friends can build them, but they have to do it without the instructions and do it inebriated.
Wait, you keep all of your Legos in a box?
Like in the original box.
This is so stupid.
The ones that are not opened.
Like this guy
I have built ones that are opened and out of the box.
This guy probably has like a Honda Civic amount of Legos. Like if he wanted to, he could buy a Honda Civic for all of his Legos.
Probably.
Easily. You could easily find a Honda Civic for all of your Legos.
Probably.
All right, then.
Dakota's just really excited until I have children.
Yeah, but you got to write it down.
Yeah, it doesn't count right now. Actually, I do think it counts if it's
You
recorded.
got to write it down, get it notarized, and then what are you doing on Friday?
You want to go skydiving?
Do you happen to want to stand next to any precarious ledges? Dang, that'd be crazy. That just made me think that's definitely happened. Someone has literally pushed someone like off a cliff over Legos.
Over Legos?
Yeah, at least one person has committed a homicide to take someone else's Legos.
Yikes.
Someone's corrupted the justice system to do it too.
The American Fork Police Department is corrupt.
All right.
And the Mormons
What's the
cannot be
update?
trusted
What's the
to
update?
police in American Fork, Utah.
What's the update?
3 months later, I didn't report to the police in the end, as even though it doesn't technically matter how much money is involved, it was a very small sum that Santander released. I don't want the stress of any legal proceedings to impact my children further when they are already going through such a difficult time. It came to light shortly after I made this post that a pension had been paid out. The children were not declared by the person who had notified the pension provider of their dad's passing and received the funds, and therefore they were not considered as potential beneficiaries. I contacted the company to request they consider the children and the full facts of the situation. The company recalled the funds, and the children were identified by the trustees as the rightful beneficiaries for the money of this pension. We are waiting to hear back about a further workplace pension, but I am hoping this may also be allocated to the children for after they turn 18. We love this.
Okay, so you just have to reach out to the people and say, hello, here's children, please think of the children. And they go, oh, shoot, we should have thought of the children.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, there are children. Yoink. We're going to take that money back. All the money they have received from this pension and their dad's passing in service policy is now in a secure trust for them to access when they reach adulthood. I unfortunately think that their dad's family think I have personally received the money, and I think their behavior possibly stems from desperately trying to prevent me from receiving anything. But it was never about me, and the money was never ever going to be mine, nor would I want it to be, which has led to an extremely sad and frankly quite disgusting situation in which a grandparent has tried to actively defraud their own grandchildren.
Dang.
It be the folks you know.
Pretty messed up.
It really do be the folks that you know, folks.
Watch out for those folks. Keep an eye on them.
That's why I suggest to meet nobody. Know nobody.
Live in a void.
Do nothing.
A man is an island.
Remember, folks. Remember, a man is an island. That's why they have one, the Isle of Man.
It's true.
It's where we all come from.
The I in island. Be the I in island.
The letter I has an island,
It's true.
a little dot.
And there you go. And that's all the proof you need.
My children still haven't received any of their personal possessions from their dad's house back, which has led to a lot of upset, confusion, and prolonged the raw feelings of grief, but I am trying my best to replace things as and when I can afford to do so. Most of these items will have had no monetary value or very little, but so much sentimental value to my children, you can imagine how much hurt this has caused. The family paid for the funeral, and I did receive some messages from the family demanding that money received will need to be paid to them to cover funeral costs.
These people are despicable.
Or just like really, really really broke.
But also could be that.
You
but
know-
why would they pay for the funeral costs then?
It's
It
so
just
hard.
feels so grimy and greedy.
Like when people get stuck in like a survival, like scroungy, like mindset, like, yeah, then it's like instead of being like, oh, this is a terrible thing that's happened to our entire family, it's just like, yeah, but what about me? What do I get? I need it.
Have we thought about me?
I need the money. You have money? Money me. I need
Give
that
me.
money. I need the money. Give me the money. Where's the money? Yeah, whatever. The kids, fine. They'll be fine. Money. Where's
These
the money?
people are awful. I hate them.
My details were also passed on to creditors for debt recovery, again, by the family. But I have confirmation that any money that has been allocated to the children is outside of the estate, so it can't be used for either of those purposes. And the estate has zero entitlement to these funds. When inquiring about their dad's bank accounts, I was mainly concerned with trying to locate some junior ISAs that he had told me he had set up, and over a number of years he took money from both children to save for them in these accounts. We are talking hundreds of pounds for their birthday, Christmas, Easter, pocket money, what have you. It has now come to light that these accounts exist. He just never deposited a penny of the money he took from them. Each child's account had less than 11 pounds in.
That's crazy. You've won, but at what cost?
So it runs in the family. Maybe the reason he had no will is because he was like, I'm not leaving anything. I'm taking it with me.
He's like, we're doing the Egyptian way. I'm taking it all with me to the afterlife.
And then in a terrible moment as he's passing away, he realizes, no, I needed the will to say I'm buried in a sarcophagus with all my earthly possessions.
Oh, I needed them to take out all my organs and put them into little canopic jars.
Oh no! And then
Shoot.
his final words as he tries to get out all of these thoughts, he just goes, the Pharaoh's curse. And then he...
And his kids are like, oh my God, the Pharaoh's curse is us not having any money.
I haven't told the children about this and have transferred any of the funds to my trust, and I've been making small but regular deposits to try and build up an amount of money similar to what their dad took, or rather stole, from them over the years.
Oof.
I will never, ever tell them about the reality of these accounts, because I don't think more pain is needed for them. The whole situation is absolutely unimaginable for any family to be going through. One that could have been handled in a way that was so much better, especially as minors are concerned, the children. I find it extremely sad that wasn't done for the children's sake. But grief compels people to behave in ways they might not usually. I just had to do my job as a mom to actively protect the interests of my children, and that is what I have done, I hope. And by the way, I hope you listen to full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, or wherever you're listening to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, and then you got it. And we have got a little more story here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the only thing that I can actually comment on is you not telling the kids, and I think that's fair. I don't think you gotta tell them that their dad stole all that money. Like, dad's gone. You're trying to replace the money. I don't think we need to let them know that.
Yeah, I think at some point you need to let them know, like, hey, watch out for your grandparents.
Yes, because they're pretty stinky.
Probably not now.
It's not because they're old.
Yeah, they're stinkers.
Yeah, it's like they do things a little differently over there. They're thieves.
They do things a little differently. They steal your stuff.
Yeah, so watch out for that. Grampy might not have the best interests at heart for you financially. Let's finish this story. If thinking badly of me grants some comfort to his family, then I can live with that. Because the only opinions I actually care about in this situation are my children's. I am extremely grateful for all the advice and guidance provided, truly thankful for and appreciative of all the time taken to respond to me. And we have some comments here to finish it off. Lawrence Forrest says, how awful of his family to do this, but good on you for making sure your children receive what is rightfully theirs. I would perhaps consider making a police report about their missing belongings. As someone who has lost both parents, sentimental items hold huge value as you process grief, and so it may help your children if you can retrieve anything. A visit from the police might prompt his family to do the honorable thing and return them to your children. That's a really good point.
Especially because I'm assuming this is like pictures and toys and school things that they worked on.
Yeah.
Like things, as OP said, that don't have any monetary value, but have a lot of sentimental value.
The in-laws are like, well, if we bring this down to the recycling plant, I think we could make 2 nickels.
We can make a lot of nickels off your artwork. Yeah, the next Van Gogh.
Our favorite band's Nickelback.
I'm gonna be drowning in nickels by the time I'm selling all of your belongings.
It's like Scrooge McDuck when he like dives.
Yeah, to the buddy.
Dives into the coins, breaks every bone in his body.
In hindsight,
In the show, canonically, he knows how to do it. He knows the very specific way to dive into the coins.
that looks really fun. And then you're like, wait, have you tried to put your hand through a jar of coins?
Dude, nah. This guy knows, he knows it because in another episode, one of the kids is like, I want to dive in the coins. He's like, no, you'll just die.
You'll drown in money.
I know this has to be the funny version of DuckTales with Ben Schwartz in it.
Yeah, I love that. And David Tennant.
Danny Putty.
Mm-hmm.
I love that interview with
I'm on DuckTales, Larry.
Oh yeah, he's like socks.
Like, what's a luxury you like? Socks? What, not a private jet? Larry, I'm on DuckTales.
So true.
OP says, thank you. From what I can understand, he was between houses. He still had his soul house, but was in the process of moving in with his girlfriend. My son has been told that their things are at his dad's girlfriend's house. I understand it has been a very difficult time for her, and given the circumstances of his passing, I really, really do feel sorry for her, but it is also 4 months since he passed, and they have not had a single one of their belongings returned.
Oh, I don't know why. I thought like the grandparents were withholding the items. The girlfriend is the one who's still in his house and she won't give the items.
Yeah, what's up with that?
That's really strange. Why do you need, what, are you trying to make nickels too?
What's up with that?
You don't need all those nickels.
I don't know her address or even her full name. My son has asked his dad's family multiple times about getting their belongings back, but usually gets a non-committal sort of reply that he is getting frustrated at. He has been given a date for the return of belongings, but if that doesn't materialize, then I will speak to the police. It just seems like it could so simply be resolved without that being needed, but the family and his girlfriend just don't at all seem willing. It's a really upsetting situation, not only because my children are suffering, but because he was horrible to me while we were together, and his attempts to control and manipulate continued right up until he passed. Yet it's me who his family are painting as the bad person. I was in the process of pursuing a prosecution for the situations he put me through too, which, of course, can't be prosecuted for now either. I have a lot of very mixed feelings, but ultimately just want to do what's right for my children. Hopefully a peaceful life is in the near future. And that is the end of that story.
That's the end.
I wish for nothing but peace.
I really hope that your kids get their belongings, because that sucks. Your son's probably like really wanting his Switch back. He's been working on that new Pokemon game and he just can't proceed because he doesn't have a Switch.
I've been working on that new Pokemon and I cannot get it right. Get it right.
Trying to play Tears of the Kingdom. Doesn't have a Switch.
Totka.
But we've got comments from the video. My sister banned my fiance from her wedding. Now she's lost me forever. And this was posted June 5th, 2026.
You'll get lost. TLDR for story 1, OP has been with her partner for 4 years, a kind and loving man who happens to be a little person. Her family never accepted him throwing cruel jokes and ableist comments his way, and OP cut most of them off to protect him. The only one she kept close was her sister, who is getting married in June. Then her sister sent a message asking OP to leave her partner at home so he would not cause drama on the big day. OP gave her a choice. Invite them both or get neither. There's also some family heirloom pearls involved in this story, and if you want to hear the full version, you can go watch the full video.
We have some comments. Shafali 1972. What would be really funny is if she said, okay, and then hired an actor for the day to stand in, but literally put on a casting call for the tallest man that you can find and show up with like a 7-foot tall guy and introduce him as your boyfriend for the event. LOL.
Yeah.
Yes, malicious compliance.
Yeah, we got another comment here from Tammy A. Lois 147 saying, it amazes me that people make choices for their family members at weddings. So your sister's partner is a short person and she thinks it will affect her wedding? This is ridiculous. No one cares. They will be looking at you, the bride.
It will affect her wedding. It'll make it cooler.
Yeah, if she wasn't so awful, her wedding would be awesome. But she sucks, and so does her wedding.
And you know what doesn't suck? This next comment from Don Morris 365. Dale. The first story only had one petty person. The others are trying to start something. Really? I don't know.
I don't remember, but I'll take your word.
We're gonna have to go to YouTube and watch this full
episode and get the full context.
It was posted on June 5th.
And we got one last comment here from the Grid Girls, saying OP from the first story is exhausting. Is that true?
I really can't tell you. Now I don't know.
I can't remember, but I feel like it's like I don't know, like exhausting and being that it's like, am I right? Like, is she right? Maybe. I don't remember, so I can't really say.
Go look at the video, guys. Find out what we said there.
I don't, and it's, we're gonna get comments being like, I can't believe they don't remember this.
Girl, I don't even know what I ate for dinner yesterday.
I had pizza.
We had the Saba.
Pizzazz. I had Mike Pizza.
But that's the end of the comments and the end of the episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you, and see you
tomorrow.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave. We have bonus stories that we think you're going to really like, so stay tuned for the next one.
My mother and ex-boyfriend betrayed me in the worst way possible. So I cut him off.
Did they cheat together?
Spicy, ooh la la. Spicy, ooh la la.
Spicy, ooh la la. I, 20 female, started working with a guy, 20 male, Josh. I used to go to school with Josh back in middle school. I didn't drive at the time, so he would stay later to take me home. He would pick me up, and we would genuinely have a good time. By the way, this comes from user Great Laugh 6932, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So we started hanging out more, and eventually we started dating without telling my family just yet.
Whoa.
I don't have a really good opening line of communication with my family, so I wasn't in a rush to tell them things about my personal life. A couple of my friends knew, and that was enough for me at the time. His parents and siblings knew, so it wasn't a complete secret. Fast forward, and it had been roughly 5 to 6 months, and things were fine. It was a couple of nights before my 21st birthday. One day, he invited me to dinner and a movie, which of course I wanted to go to. I asked my mom to watch my son, who's 2 male, Messiah, while I went out. She threw the biggest fit and mocked me, asking why I wanted to go, telling me I just wanted to be sneaky and do adult things. She wasn't watching my child for me just so I could have fun. Side note, I never even asked my mom to watch him, even when I worked. So it wasn't like I was taking advantage of her. She also had just moved to our state, so she hadn't had much bonding time with him. I didn't understand why she had to say all of that instead of a simple no, and why she had an attitude that a 20-year-old wanted to go to dinner and a movie. I let it go and texted him to tell him. His mom offered to keep my son, but I kindly declined. I had planned on not going, which was okay. Then my grandfather called and said he would watch him. My grandfather and I have the best relationship, and I confide in him about almost everything. So plans were back on. We went out to eat, and this is where I should have picked up on things and didn't. We get to the movies, and we're about 30 minutes into the movie when Josh's phone starts to go off constantly. It was my mother. She was telling him how we think we're slick, how I'm not responding to her, how I'm taking advantage of my grandfather, how I need to be home being a mother, and how he allowed me to even be out at night knowing I had a kid. In total, about 15 texts were sent. He showed me and he responded with, she's a great, hardworking mom who deserves a 3-hour break occasionally. Then he turned his phone off. How did she get his number, you ask? I have no clue, but at the time, I didn't even think about it.
Girl, what do you mean you didn't? If I went
that was
on
the right
a date
response.
with someone and my mom started texting them, my first thought would be like, how do you have my mom's number?
Well, sometimes your mom can be crafty.
Mothers are cool like that.
but-
Mothers are spies too, you know.
The response was
great.
perfect.
It's
It
great.
was respectful and it backed
How
up
did-
OP.
How did she get his number?
I silently cried for a second in disbelief that my mom would say that, plus other unmentionable things about me. This wasn't the first time. He looked over and wiped my tears, and we finished the movie. The next day, I saw my mom, where she had a few slick things to say, but my younger brothers did not let her slide. My birthday was the next day, and I was told to get cute. That was it. The next morning, Josh came to get me, and he took me to get my toes and my nails done.
Cute.
Took me to get my hair done, and then
Cute.
also took me and my son out for lunch. I felt bad because he had literally spent and done enough for me already. We headed home where he told me an outfit was there. He had it
God.
sent to my grandfather a couple of days ago, and my grandfather delivered it to my house while we were gone. What?
Look at this man.
Guys,
Look at this
what?
man.
I honestly was happy so much was being done for me. Not to mention, at midnight leading into my birthday, he arranged for my coworkers and my best friend to meet us at a bar where everyone bought me shots and drinks. In total, I had about 10 shots and 4 drinks.
Oh, this is OP's 21st.
Yeah. So I did end up yarfing, aka throwing up in my vocabulary, but he took care of it all. Again, I felt bad. He paid my nanny extra to keep my son after work so I could enjoy my birthday. I am a rambler, so let's get back to my birthday. For dinner, he and my mom organized a birthday dinner at a restaurant for everyone to come and celebrate, followed by drinks at the bar. I was tired and wanted to go home, whereas my mom insisted I get an Uber and Josh could stay because some of his family was there, including his mom. He declined and took me and his mom home. Since he didn't turn 21 for a month, he was the designated driver. The next day, my mom called around 6 a.m. to yell at me about how ungrateful I was to her for what she set up for my birthday and how I should have stayed out longer with her to enjoy it. I just apologized and told her someone else was on the other line and then hung up. Your mom. Fast forward to January, and I feel like things aren't going well, so I break up with Josh.
Whoa! But how did he get your mom's number? Why did you never question that?
Still not finding out how he got your mom's number.
You never once thought,
Well, I mean, wait. Maybe it was to set up the birthday thing.
how did he get it?
He asked
Who?
her.
You didn't give it.
I'm not an owl.
Not an owl!
So after the breakup, we communicated occasionally just to check in. He was my friend before anything else. It wasn't a hostile breakup. One night after I go to my mom's house and I'm scrolling, I realize she and Josh are friends on Facebook.
I see you. I see you.
I don't think too much of it, so whatever. She ends up showing me something on her phone and goes to the bathroom. Something tells me to go to her messenger on Facebook and click his name. When I do, I instantly regret it. I see so many messages and pictures. I read a couple and find out they had secretly been messing around.
Oh my goodness.
She had gone to his house.
Oh.
He had gone to hers.
Oh.
There were messages of him defending me to her at first, and then
Oh.
somewhere the chat changed.
To her.
I don't even have anything to say. This is too weird. We're going to keep going. The toilet flushed, and I had to hurry up and close the app and get out of the house immediately. I grabbed my son and rushed out, saying there was an emergency and I had to go. My eyes were watering as I got in the car, just thinking about all of the times she berated me in front of him, thinking how she treated him better than she treated me when we were all together. I didn't want to go home, so I went to my aunt's house and explained what I saw. She and my uncle were instantly on my side. No questions asked. From the jump, they sided with me. I tried to hack her page and his. I understand that this was wrong, but I wanted proof before I confronted them. You're a pro hack?
In this, we already have proof.
Pro hacker?
You got proof? That is proof. You can enter the premises.
Enter the premises.
Yeah.
Free and clear.
Free and clear.
Okay. I wanted to read and figure out when all of this started. Still at my aunt's, I texted my mom's best friend, who was also my godmother at the time. I asked her if she knew and explained what I saw. She tells me she knew she was talking to someone and that she told me she was. Let me check and see if I still have the pictures she sent me. She does. She sends them to me, and what do you know? It's pictures of Josh. She apologized profusely, saying she didn't know it was the same guy, how long she knew about them, which had been months, blah, 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 blah. At that point, I didn't need any proof. I sent my mom a text that read along the lines of, "You are disgusting." To not only date, but have the spicy relations with someone you knew your daughter was with. Not only that, you hid it and berated me and acted like I was this terrible person. You are a bottom of the barrel scum, and I will not forgive this. Then you decided it was cool to show pictures of him to your friends? Like it wouldn't get back to me. Have a good one. Sent, blocked.
Woo! Woo!
Hey, when your mom gets with your ex, block her. Time to block
Mama,
her.
you're blocked.
Block.
Dang, man. What a response. What a response.
That was the response,
That
the
was
all-time,
the
an
freaking
all-time
response.
response in this situation.
Yeah, all-star.
So I still had another text to send, but to Josh, who was actively working on getting back together. My message to him was very simple. LOL, my mom. You and my mom had the spicy relations? You saw how she treated me. I confided in you, and I was there for you through everything. The joke is literally on me. Guess what? This one's on you, because I'm pregnant. Sent, blocked.
Wait.
What?
Wait, I don't. Whoa.
Wait,
whoa,
yeah.
Girly,
whoa.
girl.
She was
okay.
pregnant.
Okay. OP, I just want to have a side with you.
I don't think it's the best way of getting back at it.
Girly, we already have one kid. Maybe we should invest in some contraceptive.
Yeah, maybe let's learn how to.
Maybe we should learn how to
Can we learn how
have
to do
safe,
this
spicy
safely?
sleep.
Safe, spicy, great, spicy, better where your lay spicy.
You know, it's very crazy.
that's
What
it.
if the ex and the mom have a kid? Oh no.
And then that kid is OP's sibling and also OP.
What a complex family tree that's going to be.
Do we call that kid Lucifer?
My dad's dating my grandma.
Sibling is also my niece.
My brain can't handle that one. Let's just finish the story.
Grandpa dad.
Oh.
Uncle Grandpa. Yes, I was pregnant. I had known for a couple of days and was holding on to it until I saw him that weekend after my doctor's appointment. I eventually went home and put on a brave face as if the world wasn't crumbling in front of me. I finally went to sleep after getting my son to sleep. I woke up the next morning to a message from my mother reading, "Why are you mad?
What?
He was my friend just as much as he was your friend. If you're willing to block me knowing you have younger siblings that want to talk to you, and you have no business dating because that is childish. Oh my God. And you will not ever speak to me the way you did again. I am still your mother."
Not anymore. You're my ex's new girlfriend.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'll speak to you however I want, you disgusting woman.
You despicable lady.
I'll do whatever I will talk to you however I
I'll
deem
never see you
fit.
again.
Yeah. All I could respond was with this. My siblings all have phones. I'll communicate with them how I see fit. And he was your friend just as much as he was my friend? Comical. Of course he was. Blocked.
Blocked.
And by the way, don't block us
Don't do that.
on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts from, because all you have to do is go there and search OK Storytime, and you can listen to full episodes with stories like this. And there are a lot of them.
There's a whole lot of them.
So let's finish this story. He called and texted me from his mom's phone and popped up at my house. Even tried writing me on Cash App by sending money, which, girl, take it. I was drained. I called and talked to my brothers on our group chat and explained the situation. They understood and told me my mother had told them I was not allowed to pull up to her house until I was willing to speak to her. So from then on, they would just walk to the corner and I would pick them up or drop things off to them. But as far as my mother and Josh, I am cool with both of them. That has to be a typo.
That's got it.
Because then she says, "So am I the a-hole for cutting them both off?" No, you're not.
No, cut them off. My stepmother is a monster. My father divorced her for it.
Rah! Ah! That was what happened.
There's pettiness, there's divorce, there's craziness, and there's just straight up worst stepmonster vibes ever. This happened a long time ago, but I still think you'll like it. By the way, this comes from SelectGoat5572. If you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So I'll start somewhat from the beginning. My father met my ex-stepmonster at church because she was a church-going woman. Really, he was looking for a new wife to help raise my then 6-year-old half-sister, different moms. I was 19 at the time and couldn't take living with my dad anymore because he wanted me to be the mom to my sister, so I had moved out. Not long after, he proposed to, I'll call her Lilith, on their 6-month anniversary. At the time, he was determined to not sleep with any more women till he was married.
Oh, wait.
What?
Something happened there.
Okay.
What happened there?
Years later, he said he knew 2 weeks after the wedding that he'd made a huge mistake in marrying her. But he really wanted to be a good Christian, so he decided that divorce would not be a part of the equation. Lilith had a 10-year-old daughter who moved into the house with her. We'll call the daughter Emma. Emma fit right in with me and my sister, so much so that people thought Emma was my blood sister instead of the youngest, who we'll call Crystal. Many people thought Emma and Crystal were twins because Crystal was tall for her age and Emma was on the smaller side for hers. I did my best to always be around them and would visit once a week to take them out and do fun stuff. I got close to Lilith as well because I had no idea that people could be completely insane and evil on the inside and yet somehow always appear to be angelic on the outside. The truth was that she was the biggest liar, and for no apparent reason as to why. Don't worry, I'll tell you about the insane lies at the end. You'll totally think I'm lying. To give you a little more context on the angelic side of Lilith. She worked at a Christian publishing company and volunteered to serve lemonade and snacks after both services at their church. Sounds like a good person, right? It took me years of knowing her to realize that the reason she likely did both was because she wanted people to think she was a good person. But she also wanted all the gossip. Once she had the gossip, she would spread it in the most mean and vicious way possible. Her gossip was so bad, I actually blame her for me giving birth to my first child 6 weeks before the due date. She had been gossiping about me, and when I tried to defend myself to the stranger who told me some horrible things about my life, the stranger then told Lilith something. I don't know exactly what. But the day my oldest was born, Lilith came at me aggressively, demanding to know why I was talking crap about her, which I had not been. I quickly went home, and within an hour, my blood pressure shot up so much, my water broke. I forgot OP was pregnant.
Wow.
Dang, man.
Wow, the blood pressure can just make the water sploosh out of there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. If
crazy.
you get too crazy,
Get too riled up,
your
body's just like, all right, we're having that baby.
pregnant. Fast forward 4 years. Emma is 14 and rebelling a bit, as teenagers do, but nothing truly terrible. She mostly wears heavy makeup and likes the goth look. The devil is in her.
The devil.
Lilith can't
It's the devil.
stand it and keeps making mean comments to Emma, which makes Emma make mean comments back. One day, they're in the car alone together, and Lilith gets pissed at whatever it was that Emma said. She took Emma to the nearest hospital, walked her in, and told the hospital staff, I don't want this kid anymore. She's now a ward of the state. Don't call me. Don't use my insurance. She's your problem now, and then tried to leave. What? Remember, Emma is her own flesh and blood, and instead of calling Emma's father, who had been fighting for custody of Emma all her life and losing over and over again, Lilith did this instead. Lilith is crazy. Call CPS.
Yeah, honestly,
CPS on her.
Lilith needs to get checked by an authority.
I was the first person Lilith saw after doing this, and she told me this story. She just told you?
I guess guilty people need to get stuff off of their chest.
I was appalled. My reaction apparently didn't sit well with her because she changed her story and told people that Emma had chosen to go live with her father. I knew what she had really done, and I thought my dad did too, but he didn't know the story until about 6 years later. Really, why wouldn't I feel like that would be the first thing I'd go to my parent. I'd be like, dude, did you hear what she did?
Yeah.
Did you hear what she did?
Kind of almost a responsibility at that point, I feel like.
I heard Lilith tell the new version and just thought she regretted what she had done and was too embarrassed to tell the truth. I didn't know this next part at the time. I found out this next part about 7 years later when Emma told me, but basically the hospital did not allow Lilith to leave. They made her go into one room and Emma into another and tried to mediate between the two of them for about 2 hours. When it seemed like it wasn't working, they let Lilith go in and say goodbye to Emma. Lilith's words of goodbye were, I never should have had you. You are the biggest mistake of my life. I should have terminated you when I had the chance. And then she left Emma there. Emma did go live with her father after that. Yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
That's you should go to jail for saying that
You
to a
should.
kid.
About an hour away from us. Another 3 years after that, I got married. When she met my future husband, she immediately nicknamed him Duh because she didn't think he was that smart, even though he was in college and she had never finished high school. Is this Lilith again? My sisters told me about this because Emma would visit occasionally on special holidays, and I always saw her when she did. It was no surprise Lilith had such a cruel nickname for him because she used cruel nicknames for many people in her life. But I was still pissed. I had already started to distance myself emotionally from her, and it only took 6 years to do it. One of the things that really made me build the wall was when she said to me and my then fiance's face, I give it 18 months. You guys will be divorced in 18 months.
Oh my God. She said the inside part
Which?
out loud.
Which?
That's crazy. That's a natural thing though, I feel like.
What?
Not, maybe if it's, if it's your best friend, it's well, when are they going to get divorced? But it's if you're just at a random wedding, it's there's always the conversation where it's
you're
so how long are they? You think
I
they're going to
don't
be
think
together forever? Or how long are they going to
I
last?
don't think I've had that conversation. Anyway, Lilith was an excellent seamstress who had made many wedding dresses and had always promised to make my wedding dress. When my now husband and I decided to get married, it was a fast decision and a fast wedding. We just went to Vegas and told whoever wanted to join to come along. She announced that she would have no time to make a dress because the date was too soon. I was okay with that, but I asked if she could at least hem my husband's pants. She said she could and pinned the pants the night we asked because we had them with us. Our wedding was roughly 4 weeks later, and she didn't bother to tell me until we were in Vegas that she hadn't had the time to hem his pants at all. She gave them to me with just the pins in the bottom.
Wow. Yeah.
I had my husband put them on and immediately realized that she had cut the pants too short and then repinned them so it looked like she hadn't done anything wrong. Needless to say, the night before the wedding, I was sitting by myself in a Vegas restaurant trying to hand stitch the edge of the pants in a way that wouldn't make my husband look stupid. She tried to cause some more drama at a reception, but it didn't work and she was pissed. I also found out later that even though I asked her to invite Emma because I didn't have Emma's dad's number and we didn't have cell phones back then, she lied to me and said Emma didn't want to come, but she actually never told Emma about the wedding. She also tried to stop my dad and Crystal from coming to my wedding as well, but my dad told her that wasn't gonna happen. Are you convinced yet at the monster bit? Ready for the petty? Pause. I would have, the second that this woman told me that she left my stepsister at a hospital and tried to get rid of her, I wouldn't have invited her.
Normalize not inviting people who act like actual villains
I would have cut her off.
Your important events.
This brings us to 9.5 years into my dad's marriage. One day in January, Lilith comes home from work and makes my dad a big steak dinner. As she puts it on the table in front of him, she says, "By the way, I'm quitting my job and you're going to support me. I'm just going to focus on the farm you bought for me and make and sell my farm goods. If you don't like it, too bad." Without commenting back, my dad eats the dinner, then goes into his office, prints out a piece of paper, comes back, sets the paper on the table in front of her, and says, "That's your half. I want a divorce." Finally!
Whoa,
9.5 years.
There it is.
He said, "I don't care if I'm a Catholic. I can't take it."
It's over.
He says, "If I'm going to hell for this, I was already there."
If I'm going to hell for this, it's better than this.
What began next was the most ridiculous pettiness I think I have ever experienced. For starters, neither one of them wanted to give up the sleep number bed. So they both slept in it, and my dad continued to sleep unclothed every night because that's what he did. He's like, "I can't stop. I know we're divorced. I can't stop."
I'm taking the bed. Now I'm taking the bed. Well, we'll see who gives up first. I'm going to stop showering and sleep with no clothes.
Using the sleep number remote, Lilith cranked up his side of the bed to the hardest setting and then hid the remote. She told me about this and I told my dad. He found the remote, fixed the bed, but left the remote where she hid it so she would continue to think she won and continue to sleep unclothed on his side of the bed.
You know that he's pulled that same trick so many times.
He had a hot tub and a pool. She dumped a massive amount of dirt into the filter, hoping to break the pump for the pool and hot tub since they were connected. The house has always been in my dad's name because he bought it before he met her and he made way more money than her. So she hid eggs around the house so that they would go bad after she moved out. She also shoved meat into the freezer holes of the fridge, which my dad never found out about because he passed away a couple of years after the divorce. But Crystal and I found out when he had the power to his house shut off and maggots suddenly started coming out of the empty freezer.
Freezer holes? How do you shove meat in the freezer holes? Help.
Who is this woman?
Help.
He gave her the farm that she loved and asked him to buy in exchange for her not getting his house, but she refused to move out. Their pettiness continued into February when she did the unforgivable. She picked up Crystal from the school one day after band practice. Crystal is 16 at this point in high school, and they were driving home together, taking one of the more remote roads. Lilith was grilling Crystal, basically fishing for anything she could use against her dad, and she was doing a bang-up job. She had Crystal in tears. Whatever Crystal said set Lilith off, and she stopped the car in the middle of the strawberry field and told Crystal to get out and walk home. Mind you, it was already dark outside and cold with no lights on that part of the road and a good 2 miles from the house. 2 miles with no payphones, no sidewalk, and no other people Crystal could have asked for help. Crystal did not have a cell phone back then or a jacket and cried the whole way home, terrified of every car that passed by, which would have been about 1 car every 5 minutes on that road.
Send this lady to jail. Yeah. Send her to jail.
Yeah. This is child endangerment.
For real. Jail.
My dad was pissed. He had Crystal stay at her grandmother's house and got an emergency court date within a couple of days. He told the judge that Lilith was a danger to his daughter, and the judge agreed.
Let's go.
The judge ordered Lilith to move out in 7 days, period. Dad abandoned the house during the 7 days, as did Crystal, while Lilith did the petty little pranks mentioned before. During that 7 days, Dad came home one day to find his truck backed up in the parking lot with the back hatch open. The truck had one of those camper covers, and when he looked in the back of the truck, his movie collection was piled as high as the tailgate in the truck. He has been collecting VHS movies for 15 years, and they were his pride and joy. He'd had them sorted by actor and built special shelves for them. As he was standing there, Lilith came out with another pile in her arms, saw him, looked him in the eye, and then shucked the videos into the back of the car. Dad ran to the house and saw that there were only 2 short shelves left of his 2,000+ video collection. He grabbed an armful and ran out to the truck and threw it in the back, and so did she. They continued to do this until all the videos were off the shelves. Then, when they were done, he turned to her and said, "Now let's go get your DVD player." And she said, "Okay," and ran back into the house. What? Is he having like a breakdown? Dad closed the hatch on the truck, got in, and drove away with his movie collection, just laughing his butt off.
No, that's what it was.
Oh,
she was like trying to steal all his movies, and then he's like, "All right, I'll help you.
Yeah.
Let's get all the movies in the truck. Oh, now all the movies are okay. Go get the DVD player." And then as soon as she went inside, he just said, and then he drove off.
You silly, silly woman. He was a real estate agent at the time, and he had listed a house only a couple blocks away. He parked the truck there, then walked back for his car, only to see a cop car there. He went around the corner, called the cops himself, was met by an officer, and explained the divorce situation. The police officer went with them, and Lilith immediately started screaming, "He stole my movie collection!" Dad said, "That's my movie collection." To which she replied, "Community property! Community property! Community property!" Dad's police officer told Dad to go into the house and get his belongings while he explained to the other officer what Dad had told him. A few minutes later, Dad came out with his sword collection in his arms, and Lilith started screaming, "Those are my swords!" Dad just looked at her and snidely said, "Community property." I wish I could say that had been the end, but it was a long and petty divorce. Now for the lies Lilith told.
First and foremost, this dad's really cool. That's funny.
Besides the fact that he stayed with this woman for 9.5 years.
He's got tenacity,
he's
but this guy's got a VHS collection for like 2,000 like movies. That's crazy, in alphabetical order by actor or actress. Crazy. And he's got swords.
But everything
You know who has one of those? My grandpa.
Oh, sick, man.
Your grandpa?
No.
Now for the lies Lilith told. Dad and I figured out everything as we compared stories during the divorce. There were a lot of lies, but the craziest one to me was how she told everyone that she had been in a coma when Emma was around 4 years old. She had pictures of Emma with short hair and said, "That was when I was in a coma." Emma freaked out and ripped out all of her hair, and I had to cut it short. Now, mind you, when I met my husband, he had actually been in a coma when he was a teenager from a car accident, and he has a track scar on his neck, which is somewhat common for coma patients. Lilith did not have one, but I figured it must have been a different kind of coma. She said she couldn't wear watches because coma patients had their magnetic poles altered from the coma, so watches would just not work on her.
What?
I didn't question it because I didn't really know anything about comas, and I didn't really care enough to look into it. But my husband can wear watches, he just doesn't like to. She told me she ended up in the coma when her ex-husband attacked her. But she told my dad and my aunt that she put herself in the coma when she was shearing one of her goats, cut her arm, and bled out, which we didn't even question, even though she has no scars on her arms. As these things came to light, I reached out to Emma's dad because I had gotten Emma's phone number by then. I asked Emma's dad if Lilith had ever been in a coma, and he replied, if she was, where was Emma? I thought, good answer.
Right.
So I asked Lilith's mother, who replied, if she was, where was Emma? And where are you guys? Because you should be listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
It's true.
Search up OK Storytime.
OK Storytime.
There's a little bit left to this insane story.
Those are the craziest lies maybe I've ever heard.
So insane.
I was in a coma and my poles reversed, so watches don't work.
Like what? What?
She's a time traveler's wife.
Also, were you in a coma or not?
It doesn't seem so.
Oh, and also, what is
You're
wrong?
crazy.
What is wrong? How do you end up this way?
How do you end up so just freaking crazy? So yeah, craziness. But I'm a people pleaser, so I was still trying to be her friend despite all of that. Until she tried to accuse my father of hitting her and even had the neighbors call an ambulance after she attacked my dad and sister on the front lawn one day. When she did that, I knew what her next play was, to accuse my dad of abuse in hopes of winning everything, and I was done. I told her not to call me again, and that was the last I heard from her. I do know, however, that she spread rumors about us to anyone who would listen. According to her, Emma passed away, which must have been strange when Emma moved back to town after my dad's death and people saw her. Crystal became a spicy sleepwalker. So not true. And I am constantly being by my husband, who I've been married to for 22 years now. So yeah, this was a long time ago, but I still laugh about it. And that is the end of the story. Oh my God.
A long time ago in a life that is now far, far away from you.
Please, I hope that you never have to see that lady again.
Isn't it crazy to think like you could just be driving down the street and then this woman is like in the car next to you?
Yeah, this insane woman could just be like right around the corner from me.
Just being like, one day I'm going to steal all those movies back.
I'll get those swords if it's the last thing I do.
I'll get those swords. I'll get my enchanted swords back if it's the last thing I do.
But man, oh man, that was the end of that
Wow.
story.